Yo, Juices. Yes, it's me, Original Juice. And, I didn't really want to do this so soon after my last video, but I'm sitting here, and while I was recording my first video, well, the audio from the first video, and just doing some editing, on in the background, no apologies, you can hear things in the background, that's because obviously just chilling out in the evening with the TV on in the background, and on came possibly the worst show I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's called Rich Kids of Instagram. Maybe I'm being very, what's the word, naive in this YouTube game. I should set up the feelings towards this television show. And fingers crossed I can find a clip and play in the background. You can see this actual television show exists. But the summary of Rich Kids of Instagram is it covers people who are wealthy or seem to be wealthy, and they're on Instagram. And it's probably the most ridiculous television show that I've ever seen in my entire life, with possibly the biggest wastes of space that we could possibly imagine, and it covers the single most facile people that you could ever find anywhere. So, cut a long story short, this show covers people whose quote unquote profession is to take pictures on Instagram in order to win sponsorship and get money from people. Now, and maybe this is a bit of an irony because I'm on YouTube and, making videos is now a profession on YouTube, and I talked about that in my last video. But it just mystifies me that now a profession is made from people taking pictures on Instagram. So, in one example, I was watching this guy, and he talks about investing something like $300,000 in one picture in terms of the cars and the bottles of champagne, in order to show people that he could be a brand ambassador for their products. Now, maybe I'm quite naive, but surely the whole point, if you're an advertiser, is to pick someone who already has brand recognition, or is it maybe they're visually good looking, there's some attachment to the brand, so you pick a sports star who is already famous, or you pick someone who aesthetically you feel attaches to your brand. But essentially these guys are regular people who just are blowing a lot of money on being with rich things. So this guy, he thinks his forehead is really big, so he's now having things injected in his forehead in order to detract the impact of his forehead. And this is a profession. I'm just really mystified that we're now in a generation, and whatever you want to say, every generation's got its ridiculous professions where you just think, hold on. But in medieval times, at least there was a court jester who made people laugh. Now we've got people who seem to be able to make a living just taking pictures of themselves on Instagram, and that's and they're not even. Wait, whoa, I'm watching this while I'm recording this video, so fingers crossed I can get a clip of this. But I can't emphasise how ridiculous it is. But I'm watching someone who's getting injected while taking a picture of themselves getting injected to post on their Instagram. What type of brand standard does this guy think he's doing? My God. I can't believe that look, I've got to quantify this right. At least on YouTube, people are creating content. Whatever you want to think about the infamous content robbers who make React channels, at least they're doing something. At least there's some sort of, because even if it's just a weird, these people are just taking pictures. React channels, they have to react. There has to be something to engage with. Whatever you believe about the validity of what they do, and I'm not advocating React channels in the slightest, but at least there's something they're reacting to. Oh God. And now there's a kid whose sole talent is that she was fortunate enough to be born to rich parents, and she's a single kid. This is possibly the worst show that I've ever seen, and and you might want to know what criteria I judge a show by. I'll say there's lots of things, but I almost ask myself, what does it say about us as a society? Now, when I watch something like The Walking Dead, at least it kind of said something about our morality. And what I was trying to say is, can we keep our morality in the worst of situations where we're all those? Can we keep this rich kids of Instagram is possibly the worst show that I have ever seen in my entire life. Because the only thing these people have said is how much that they paid. And the thing is, this girl who's on this telly, who's talking about how much her dress is worth, hasn't even paid for it. She's not even the one who did the hard work. My God, she hasn't got any discernible talent at all. And I know I'm being very unfair. I'm judging someone by a television show. But she really doesn't. There's no, her one defining character is that she's wealthy. And that's probably going to be all that she needs in life. But that's her one defining character. She's wealthy. And that's it. I have to say, the rich kids of Instagram is not even possibly, it's definitely the worst show I've ever watched in my entire life. Its appeal to the complete worst of humanity cannot be reached. I've seen some really rubbish television, but this is real lowest common denominator. I'd rather watch cops than this rubbish. Like, and the only reason I've kept it on for the duration of this recording is because I thought, you know what, let me do a video. Because it's ridiculous. The people on it have no redeeming qualities. They are the worst of humanity. And considering the, I don't want to say the mess we're in, but the problems that are out in the world, to worry about how much your dress cost because it was only $24,000, or to worry about how much you put in an Instagram photo because, and this guy, he drove a Ferrari for a load of bleeding Dom Perignon bottles in front of it and took a picture because of his brand, and then took a picture of him being injected in his forehead because it was too big. Just let that sink in. His forehead was too big, so he had his forehead injected. So what's that got to do with having a big forehead? How did that fix his big forehead? His forehead is still massive. It's still huge. And I'm not forehead shaming him, if anyone starts getting twisted out there. But my God, if that's his concern about his forehead and how much money he has in an Instagram photo, then what's the world coming to? I'll leave you this thought. Imagine if this and cockroaches were the only thing that this society left for any future society to see. What would they think of us? I know what I think. Bloody hell, what a load of twats. Anyway, this is Original Juice, signing out. Feeling quite ashamed actually that I watched this complete pile of nonsense.